No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
At Ophthalmology Associates, their goal is to ensure that every one of their patients enjoys the best possible eyesight at every stage of their life. This is Rick Wallace, and I've been through several life stages with Ophthalmology Associates. I've trusted them with my eye care for almost 30 years. Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer head up a network of leading specialists in every field of eye health. They're involved in leading-edge research and equipped with the latest technology to handle the most complex situations. And there is always personalized eye care tailored to your individual needs and preferences at Ophthalmology and Associates. Oh yeah, pediatric eye care too, and a full-service optical shop. Ophthalmology Associates. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
This is the Verizon Extra Innings Show. Verizon, the most reliable 5G in St. Louis.
Helsley with the 2-1 pitch for Garcia with 2 down. A swing, and that ball's hit in the air. Center field. There's Victor Scott, the second. He catches it for a Redbird winner. 1-2-3 go the Royals in the ninth, and this ball game.
Well, that was how that one ended tonight. Sorry about that, John Rooney. Cut you off there at the very end. But what a win it was for the Redbirds. It is the Extra Innings Show. It's presented by Gray Bar. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now, if you want to get involved, I would love to have you. 314-436-7900. That's the easiest way to get involved. Well, that's one easy way to get involved. You can also get online. YouTube, X, Facebook, we're there. All of the Camo X Sports socials. You can find us right here for the Extra Innings Show. Say hi to me. Stick it in the comments. I can see it. I can talk about it. You can also hit me up on X if you care to. That's Joe Pott on air. That's on X. Joe Pott on air, and I will react to that as well. Hard not to react in a positive way, A, to this game, and B, to the way that this Cardinals team is playing right now. If you heard Oliver Marmol in our postgame show, in the network postgame show, he talked about the fact that this team can win in a number of ways. If we have to slug, he said, we slug. 10-3 winners last night. If we know that it's going to be a tough pitcher and we need to play the defense like we did tonight, guess what? They do that as well. It is that kind of team right now. And as I said, it is fun to watch this team. I got a funny text there from John Rooney, who is giving me some grief about cutting off that clip there at the very end. So I apologize again. But this is the kind of team that is fun to watch. And I thought it was going to be fun to watch at the beginning of the year, but I didn't know necessarily that they would start having this kind of success and they would really start rolling. And that is what we've seen. And we've seen them do that in a number of ways. We talked about a little bit when we heard from Jordan Walker in the network show about some of the things that he's done, right? And I talked about that play in the first inning where Vinny Pasquantino hit the base hit and Walker cut it off. And it was Walker's route that held Pasquantino to the base hit. It could have been a double. That inning could have gone bad. You could have found yourself trailing after a half inning. It's small things like that. It's smart baseball. Rick Horton talked about those plays that we saw in the 8th inning, right? And especially that play, that 4-6-5 double play that Jonathan India hit into, and how Brendan Donovan, immediately upon throwing that ball, was directing where that throw should go, directing Mason Wynn. But he was already thinking about it as well. So you've got a group of guys, a group of players that are thinking about the game, high level thinking about the game, and then making plays like that, making smart baseball plays. It's like when you're in Little League, right? What do they tell you? You got to be thinking about what you're going to do with the ball when it comes to you. This sounds like basic stuff, but this is stuff that, frankly, in the last couple of years, we haven't seen as much as I think Cardinals fans have come to expect from Cardinals teams. And that's what makes this team a lot of fun to watch. We do have some comments, so I want to get some of these comments on that are commenting on our stream here. Samuel Howe says, are the Cardinals buyers? Is our playoff window open? That's a great question. It might be a little early to think about whether or not the Cardinals are buyers or sellers. Right now, though, they're absolutely contenders. When you think about this team, you might think, okay, so they won 9 in a row. So they've won 12 out of 13 games, right? But where does that really stack them up? Because everybody's talking about the National League West for good reason. But if you pull up the wild card standings right now, yes, I get it. Way too early to talk about the playoffs. But if you pull up the wild card standings right now, what you get is a look at where the Cardinals match up with all of those other teams in the National League. They're half a game out. They're 1/2 game behind the San Francisco Giants, and that's on the loss side. They have one more loss than the Giants. They have the same amount of wins. They have one less win than the Phillies. They have one less win than the Padres. So absolutely, this team is right in it right now. They are absolutely right in it with the rest of the National League right now. And that's where you want to be. So say what you will about expectations or where you thought that this team was going to be, or the kind of baseball that you thought this team might be playing. Right now, they're playing as good of baseball, and in fact, better baseball than most teams in the National League. When you talk about just this particular stretch that they're on, but this particular stretch that they're on has gotten their entire season to this point on par with the rest of the National League. So you've got some really good baseball happening right now in St. Louis. And I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow. I hope that pitching matchup plays out like it looks like that it could. We know how well Matthew Liberatore has been pitching this year. If you look at it, and if you've watched it all, you know how good Michael Wacha is pitching this year. And you heard about how he's handled the Cardinals when he's faced the Cardinals in his career. So it has a really good, at least on paper, it seems like it is very, very good. Henry Wells says 12-25. This team can not only win the division, but they can also contend for a championship. And I appreciate that. Like I said, it's probably a little early to think about all the way that far out, to project it all the way out. But right now, they are where you want them to be. As I said, they are among the best in the National League right now. Samuel adds to his other comment and asks, what does it take to acquire a Paul Skeens? Anyway, that is, man, I like where your head's at, Samuel, because that's a big dream right there, to acquire a Paul Skeens. So even if they're buyers, I don't know if they're buying that right now. And quite frankly, they don't need it right now. I mean, sure, you can always use a Paul Skeens. Of course you can. But yeah, you know, that's it's fun though. Is it not fun to be able to think this way? Because the last couple of years, and largely because of a down April and then into May, this team had fallen behind. Even last year, when they got to the trade deadline, they were still in the race. They were still contenders. Remember, that's when they acquired Eric Fetty and Tommy Pham in that deal that sent Tommy Edman out. And they wouldn't have done that if they didn't feel like they were contenders. But they had to do some digging to get out of there. So at this point last year, mid-May last year, we weren't talking about a team that was 6 games over and contending in the National League. I think they were probably something like the record is probably flipped. It was really close to 19-25 or 18-24. I mean, something like that. I just looked the other day. So even though they got to that point they got back to that point going into July and getting into the trade deadline time, we weren't talking about it like this now. We weren't talking about that team, this team like that in May, because they weren't contending in May. So it's been a lot more fun. It's been a pleasant time to be talking about this team at this point in the season. Let's take a break here on the Extra Innings Show. We'll take a short break. We'll come back. If you want to get in, 314-436-7900. Again, you can comment on all of our Camo X Sports socials. I'll be happy to react and read those. I appreciate Steve Wright giving us a hello as well. And Samuel and Henry have commented here tonight. So we appreciate that. Any more reaction, we're happy to get it. You can also hit me directly up on X, Joe Pott on air, and I'll react to those as well. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. More of the Extra Innings Show is coming up on KMOX.
This is Tom Ackerman. Like a Hall of Fame talent, an MVP, Chesterfield Fence and Deck has been going for 57 years strong now. A lot of happy customers. They've done a wonderful job for the St. Louis metro area when it comes to patios, sunrooms, pergolas, fences, decks, you name it. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. Mention me, Tom Ackerman, and receive 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project, chesterfieldfence.com.
You might know Graybar for cable and connectivity, but there's one more thing you should know us for that can help optimize your project's total value, like our comprehensive electronic solutions for security, AV, wireless, and networking, or our specialized job site services, like material staging and kitting, or maybe our logistics specialist, who can help you identify efficiencies and ensure just-in-time delivery. So consider what one more thing you may need to optimize your bottom line and get to know us for that. Yep, Graybar does that.
There's a big red barn where you say green. Norm's Bargain Barn. On discount windows, doors, and things. Norm's Bargain Barn.
Hi, I'm Norm Wilkie. Come see my new selection of Amish cabinetry made by my good Amish friends at Countrywood Products. We now stock 5 styles of cabinetry for you to choose from.
When you need to save on discount windows, doors, and cabinetry, come to Norm's Bargain Barn. With locations in Shiloh and Fenton at the bottom of Gravois Bluffs. Visit normsbargainbarn.com.
That's normsbargainbarn.com.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we are more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. From startups to established businesses to estate plans, we are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. With offices in Missouri and Illinois, you can conveniently visit us today at sandbergphoenix.com. That's sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
You know Graybar for electrical parts, but there's one more thing you may not be thinking of us for that can help maximize your next project's total value. Our pre-project planning services are designed to help you win the bid, save on labor costs, and keep your installers productive across your entire build. The sooner you call us, the better. Because when we're there from the beginning, we can anticipate your needs and help you solve problems before they become problems. Yep, Graybar does that.
Now, back to the Verizon Extra Innings Show.
Daniel Lynch, the fourth, pitched in the game last night. He's backing up Cameron. Here's a swing and a high fly ball. Hit to deep left field. It might go. It's a gutter. A home run for Jordan Walker, his third of the year, and the Cardinals are on the board in the sixth.
Big swing of the bat right there from Jordan Walker. We're back in on the Extra Innings Show. It is presented by Graybar. Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Have to feel good for Jordan Walker. And I just appreciate what he's done as far as, like I said, we talked a lot about the defense, his defense specifically on the network side. And I appreciate what he has done because obviously the offense has been tough to come. Again, for the third straight year, it's been tough to come. And this is a guy that has twice been sent to Memphis for extended periods in 23 and in 24, and has come back and has had a positive attitude and obviously the work ethic. And if you heard Mike Claiborne's interview with him on our network show about, he was really quick to praise his coaches that have put him in the position and have worked with them and have given him the drills to be a much better, a markedly better defender in right field. So to not let the offensive struggles kind of carry over onto that defensive side, and for him to be as good as he has been and be as improved as he has on the defensive side is really fun to see. And for him to have the big swing of the bat tonight is fantastic to see. I think that anybody can appreciate that and understand probably what kind of weight it was off of his shoulders. I was talking to Dan Hintkamp in the studio, and that's what Dan said, is what kind of weight is that probably coming off of Jordan Walker's shoulders? And would anybody be shocked now if maybe that's kind of the catalyst? Maybe that's something that starts a little run in Jordan Walker, and we see some improved offense from Jordan Walker. I think that would be great as well. it would just be great to see him rewarded, because obviously you know that the guy is working on all facets of his game. Like I said, it's clearly been a point of emphasis for him to improve on the defensive side, and it's been a lot of fun to watch, and I hope that this leads to something on the offensive side. Last couple of minutes here. If you want to get in, 314-436-7900. Thanks again to all the folks that are commenting on the stream. We appreciate that. What's on Deck is brought to you by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have the very best, chesterfieldfence.com. Tomorrow, again, we mentioned it already, but a good pitching matchup is on deck tomorrow. Michael Wacha for the Royals, a 2.96 ERA, 3-4 is Wacha's record, and he'll go up against Matthew Liberatore, 3.11 ERA. He is 3-3, and we know how good he has been this year for the Cardinals. They won their 7th game on the road trip. I got to find my stat here, but the last time they won 7 games on a road trip was 2021. It was September 20th through the 26th, 2021. That was 2 4-game sweeps. So they won 8 on that trip, 2 4-game sweeps, Milwaukee and Chicago. And now that's on the table, of course, with the game tomorrow and the chance to sweep the series tomorrow and the chance to go to 8-1. 8-1 on this 9-game road trip. Remember when we were talking about how, the team can win at home, but they can't win on the road. They had such struggles on the road. They're now just 3 under on the road overall this year. That's what a trip like this has done for them, has really put them right back on level footing on the road as well. I think you knew that it wasn't going to be as bad as it had been, or as bad as the start was on the road. But again, just so many good things about what is going on right now with this team and what it's doing. And like I said at the start of the show, it's just a fun team to watch play some really good baseball. It's one thing to play or to watch a team that is not very good and they're losing games. It's a whole nother thing to watch a team that is not very good and they're losing games, but they're not playing good baseball. And that's what we've seen sometimes. Certainly we saw that in 2023. That was much more cleaned up in 2024, but this is a different team, period. You've got some young guys. You've got some enthusiasm. I think they're having fun. Ultimately, it is fun to watch as well, and hopefully that continues tomorrow. My thanks to all the folks helping us out tonight. Certainly thanks to the voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney, Rick Horton, Mike Claiborne, and Ryan Schulte in Kansas City tonight. Daniel Hincamp's behind the controls, and he's been keeping us on time and in line this entire night tonight. Big thanks to him. Thanks to Samuel and Henry and Steve for commenting on our stream tonight and for getting involved here on the Extra Innings Show. 1-0 the final score tonight. The Cards with the shutout win. Michaelis with 6 shutout innings, and they'll go for the sweep tomorrow in Kansas City behind the left arm of Matthew Liberatore. I'm Joe Pott. Keep it here on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Remember who we were. The story of Jackie Kennedy and how she saved Grand Central, here on Our American Stories.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis